Fasten your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell at before you blow up a plane.
Basha K. Ali!
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what, Chrissie, to say I doubt the whole stand-up is something. I have no disrespect for you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean. Welcome back, boys and girls. Turning Point USA, day 3. We're here. It's Monday. We're at the Phoenix Convention Center.
That's right. You got to do the song. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Exactly.
Only 18 minutes late today. Which is very good for me.
You were very lucky that for everybody in the chat, you're very lucky the stream's going right now.
That you were even here to save it.
That's true. Random equipment, random ports, stuff like that. All of Chris's equipment is literal dog shit.
Yep.
That's not like
I had like a sense that maybe I needed to upgrade at some point soon, but I'm plugging in this camera. It wouldn't even register. Like it would not even. Someone's gonna screenshot that. It would not even register as a fucking camera. It wouldn't even come up. Sorry to cuss right away. It would not even. The camera would refuse to recognize it as a technical entity. So I'm gonna light that on fire when I get back to the hotel room. So thank God for Ryan for letting me borrow his camera.
You're welcome. Ryan looking like James Bond. Thank you.
Yeah, tell us who you're wearing today.
I'm wearing Apartment 9 from Kohl's, I believe.
It doesn't look like a Kohl's outfit.
I know. It looks. Hold on, I'll stand up.
Give us the whole fit check, like they do on the Whatever podcast. Look at this. Look at this. Watch.
You can see my shoes.
Watch out. The shoes go amazingly well. The shoes are like an Adidas gray and black striped gray jacket. We have a white with subtle but masculine blue polka dots. And the aviators. You can't even see the aviators, but like, look, it means business.
I do. I got the Ray-Ban aviators today, so we stepped it up. I like the blue shading, goes really well with the blue and the jacket.
You're put together without looking gay or like you're trying too hard, which I think is a struggle for straight men everywhere. And your hair could rival Matt Gates's today.
Bro,
it's a good hair day.
I was saying that, like, sometimes, like, I do the same thing in my hair every single day, but sometimes it's just a combination, whether it's how long I dried it for or how long I let it sit after I dried it and the amount of like product I put, whatever. I do the same thing every time, but every once in a while, I just get this remarkable, incredible like coif. This it's been described to me as people who know me as like a Johnny Bravo type of like coif to it. It's looking good. It's looking good, I gotta say. So I'm feeling good. Man, I've drank a lot the past couple of days, but you wouldn't tell unless you look right in my eyes and they're kind of red. But other than that,
must be nice to drink at one of these conventions when sometimes you get free drinks.
Well, I told everybody that I am going to be drinking for 2 since Chrissie can't.
Please do.
So that's
Please drink for 3.
No, I've been trying.
Yeah, I had a Shirley Temple a couple nights ago. That was pretty thrilling. I had a mixture of juices. But yeah, Ryan, who are you trying to talk to today or meet or get a picture with?
You know,
or anything like that.
I really like it more when they try to talk to me. That's the whole thing. But no, literally anybody. It's just we've met so many like random people just in the past 2 days and today. So you never quite know who you're going to run into or what's going to happen. I talked to Jonathan Isaac earlier, actually, the NBA player.
Any relation to Chris Isaac? No, he's black.
Well, Jonathan Isaac is black.
Oh.
But he's the NBA player who refused to kneel for the national anthem during the bubble. He plays for the Orlando Magic. He recently launched a brand called Unitas. So I met him before at the Daily Wire. What does this say?
Chrissie and Kyle. I love Kyle. I don't know if you're supposed to be Kyle.
Am I Kyle?
You seem like you could be a Kyle, if I'm being totally honest.
You know, a lot of times when people look at me, they just say, "I see Kyle."
Yeah.
You know, it's a really strange thing. I don't know why that gets yelled at me everywhere I go.
You're giving Kyle vibes.
But yeah, I must be giving Kyle vibes.
All right, so you're more of someone you let people come up to you. You're not someone that like goes.
I'm just
tries
fucking
to
around.
get a
If
picture.
I see somebody, obviously, I'm pretty good at like finding people and schmoozing my way at these things.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a good environment for me.
You're a good schmoozer. Sorry, the necklaces didn't really go with my sweater, my aesthetic. So
Pregnant Chrissie is like way more irritable than normal. Just to be honest.
what being pregnancy does, it takes all of your negative qualities and multiplies them by 300.
And it makes your positive qualities disappear.
Hey, he's not wrong though. Scott McKenzie.
It's been a frustrating day.
But
Tech-wise,
it's made worse by the fact that all of my equipment I basically could sell in a box at a garage sale for 10 cents. Like I'm at that point.
And they wouldn't even buy it. You have to just put it out for the Mexicans to pick up on the side.
I don't feel nervous leaving my equipment here because everyone here has better shit than me. So I'm not. My light is held together by tape because this is my travel light. Scott McKenzie says, who have you enjoyed meeting most so far, and who else would you like to meet and connect? And tickets. Oh, and thanks for doing the live stream. Thank you, Scott. Well, my quest for Roseanne continues. I saw her being interviewed by a guy on the Epic Times, and their booth is just a few booths down.
You were right by her. I saw you.
I was right by her, but then I become crippled with this like, don't be a loser, Chrissie. Like, what am I gonna say to her?
Roseanne, I'm a comedian too.
Yeah, what am I gonna come on? Like, I have been chatting with her son who works on her podcast, like a little bit about trying to arrange something, but I'm not going to pretend like I am personal friends with her or anyone she knows. And she's just getting swamped by people. Like there's like 20 people far more aggressive than me, like reaching their heads in, getting pictures. And I'm like, who I would have to become to even have a chance at getting a picture with her is like not someone I like.
I'm not a picture person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like to like take a lot of pictures with people. I just don't do it. I don't know why. I need to be more clout hungry, I guess.
You do. I mean, there's a few people I was excited to get photos with, like Mike Lindell, who I think is friends with Anthony Cumia from Compound. And it was fun to meet Jake, the Shaman, yesterday. That was really cool. And I think I have my first guest waiting.
Let's go.
I'm sorry to dismiss you, Ryan.
Oh, that's all right. Just the producer.
Yes, come on, Jay. This is so exciting.
It is exciting. I'm excited.
Jay, tell me your full name so I can add you to the display.
My name is Jay Bieber, Beeber.
Any relation to you know who?
No, it's spelled differently. Although
Okay.
back in the day, I think when my parents came over from Europe.
You look very European.
Yeah, do I?
You look maybe
What do I look like?
Polish.
Very good.
Was I right?
Polish and Ukrainian.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I racially
You were
like,
racially profiled me.
stereotyped. I profiled you and it works. That's you know who also is Polish
I'm
is
impressed.
Luke Radowski of TimCast, and he's I don't think he's here yet today.
His last name gives it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family unfortunately was driven out of Poland and Ukraine.
Oh
so,
gosh, that's not good.
Not
Probably by my family.
could be.
Probably
I
by,
won't hold
probably
it
by
against
my
you.
German relatives. We won't have to get into that.
Okay.
Sorry about
No,
that.
don't tell anyone.
Sorry, it's nothing personal. We sound great.
Okay.
So Jay, before I started recording, you were telling me, like, and sorry if we look very washed out, but this is like a hodgepodge.
Are we actually on now? or-
We are. We're live. We're
Hello.
live for 278 people.
Wow.
So Jay Bieber here was telling me about what I know about cars trying to take away our autonomy.
Yes.
And I was like, the only thing, I know there's the Anne Heche like car conspiracy where they're like, well, they actually just took over her car and crashed it into a wall and they took her away while she was alive and like killed her because she was working on a sex trafficking documentary. And then there's also like the rise of the sort of self-driving cars, and I was like, I saw a lot of those in Austin a few months back.
Yeah.
But you are digging into something way deeper than all that.
Yeah. So I'm the executive director for the National Motors Association. And
Okay.
National Motors Association is the organization that got rid of the 55-mile-an-hour speed limit back in the 80s and 90s. So
Was
if anybody's
55
old
mile,
enough,
was that a national speed
it was
limit?
it was the federal government said
Okay.
you cannot have a speed limit on the highways higher than 55 miles an hour. So
Oh,
imagine that if
wow.
you live in a state like Arizona or out
No
west,
one's doing
you know,
that. I like to cruise at a comfortable like 60, 65, 70, 70. Depends if I have to go to the bathroom.
then,
Yeah.
then you got to go 85.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know the song "I Can't Drive 55."
No.
No,
I have
I
horrible,
can't drive
I have
55.
horrible taste in music.
Okay. I wouldn't say that. I'm sure there's some music.
But that song is about the speed limit.
It is. It was written about the speed limit.
Okay.
And so the federal government decided during the gas crisis in the 70s, in order to supposedly save gas, but it's all about always saving something, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah, I can't remember.
okay. So it was about slowing everybody down to 55 miles an hour, so we saved gas. But of course, it didn't actually save any gas, and it made everybody miserable, and of course, gave everybody tickets on all the highways.
Oh
so,
God. Yeah.
So everybody's getting a ticket because you can't drive 55 on a interstate highway. You just
No,
can't do
especially
it.
if you're not a man, you have the need for speed.
That's right, the need for speed.
Mhm.
So anyway, so that's where the organization got started, and then we've been fighting for things like that ever since. So whether it's ticketing cameras, automated enforcement, red light cameras, speed cameras, all that kind of stuff, they now want to lower speed limits to like 20 miles an hour in major cities.
Is this on a local level or is this on federal level?
Both.
Okay.
And so the federal government is pushing this. In the last Infrastructure Act bill, the bipartisan infrastructure bill, they put in money to get cities to put in speed cameras and red light cameras.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're giving your tax dollars away so they can put in things to ticket you. So
That seems like a double
right, the
dip.
government, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff, and then I don't know if anybody has heard of the 15-minute city.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're the 15-minute city. So this is a real thing. Of course, they say, the other side says it's a conspiracy. There's no real 15-minute
Right.
cities. But
Look at what they're building. I think it's in Dubai. It's like the long
The long
strip
yeah.
building. It's like the mile.
yeah,
Not the
that's-
Mile High Club. That's
that seems-
something
that
else.
seems-
but
that
it's
seems
like
an open air
like a
prison to
big
me.
contained like ecosystem. It's very creepy.
Yeah. So the 15-minute city, they're actually doing in Glasgow. So they're saying, it's a
Oh, wow.
conspiracy. But so this is the way the city is divided into like different quarters, right? And then if you live in your quarter and you can't go directly from the other quarter to the other quarter without being charged or penalized or blocked, they want you to go out and around. Okay.
Oh boy.
Because so this is to force people out of their cars. This
Mhm.
is the whole thing is, you're destroying the planet. You're terrible. You
Right.
live in a house.
They want you to
in
go
suburbia,
electric,
they
but
hate you.
really it's all about they don't want you to have a car
They
because they
don't
don't want you to be autonomous. They don't
Right.
want you to just like have the freedom to go wherever
Exactly.
you want. They want
Exactly.
to control everything.
Right, because the car has been one of the greatest drivers of freedom that we have seen in the last century. And so if you think about it, like all this other great technology, it has shackled us. The car is the one thing that has really like expanded our horizons and allowed us to think about all of the things that we do in society now. You didn't have cars and trucks and automobiles. You just couldn't do it. You can't
Right.
live your life in most places without. I mean, yeah, if you live on the Isle of Manhattan,
Right.
then
That's the
maybe
only
you don't
place
need
where
a
it
car
makes
so much.
sense.
But
Yeah.
still, you still have to do commerce. You still have to get around. I mean,
Yeah.
people get in the taxi and they,
And
they
the
go
amount of
places.
fossil fuels that are made just to create one of these like batteries in one of
Yeah.
these like
It's terrible for the
electric
environment.
cars. It's you're not being any greener that way.
Right, but they want to force everybody, and part of the reason is because you can't go as far with these cars. You can't get around. It's much more. You want to fuel up extra 20 minutes. So maybe I won't take a car. I'll take a bus or I'll ride a bicycle. That's what they
Mhm.
want you to do. So it's all about this anti-car, anti-middle class. We hate you. You're destroying the planet, and you're a bad person if you drive.
Right,
a car.
because none of this affects like the super wealthy.
No.
Like they'll be able to have their cars. They'll be
Exactly.
able to. They'll be in their cars eating their steak, and we'll just be on a bus eating a bug sandwich.
Exactly. That's right. You
Remembering
will
the
own nothing.
days.
You will own
Yeah.
nothing, including a car.
Yeah.
you
You're
will like
I'm
that.
supposed to be happy, but I don't feel happy.
I don't feel happy if I don't have my car.
Yeah.
I'm not happy. I'm not a happy person.
Where can people follow you on social media?
So our website is the National Motorist Association. So it's motorists.org. Motorists is plural, and we're I think on a lot of Twitter and all that kind of stuff. National Motorists is plural Association.
.org.
And no, it's actually motorists.org.
Motorists.org.
www.motorists.org.
Oh, it's just motorists.org.
Motorists.org. That's the website.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's simple
And then
enough.
we're on all the regular social media. I don't
What
do
can
any of that
anybody do? Like what is there
What was
anything you it feels hopeless sometimes
No, it's
because it
not.
almost is like, well, they really want to take away our cars. Like, how am I one person gonna stop them?
Well, here's what you do. Go to the National Motorist Association website, motors.org. At the very least, get on our mailing list, but join. It's $42 a year to join the organization. It's cheap. And you get all the great stuff of being a member of the National Motorist Association. So all of our information to keep you posted. We have a whole activist network. And here's the great thing, and I'm not suggesting anybody speed and get a ticket, but if you are a member and you happen to get a speeding ticket and you fight it in court and you lose once a year, we will compensate you. I think it's up to like $500.
He's saying to speed.
I'm not saying to speed, but I'm saying the whole thing is about pushing back against the policing for profit that's going on with speed limits, because they lower speed limits here in Phoenix, where we are right now. They just lowered speed limits to 30 miles an hour on roadways where the prevailing speed is 48 miles an hour.
Is it just to get money?
It's to get money. It's to make driving as miserable as possible. They think that it's making people safer, but the studies have shown that people don't drive the number that's on the sign. They drive the way the roadway is built. So if the roadway feels like it's safe and comfortable to go 45 miles an hour, that's what people are going to do. That's what the government built the road for. And then they put 30 miles an hour on it and ticket you for going the speed that they built the road for.
Yeah, it's like saying, you can only have 2 drinks at the comedy club. That's not going to stop anybody. They're going to drink till you're funny.
They only need 1 drink.
Right, just for me. Just a couple sips.
Exactly.
Cool, Jay. This is interesting.
So,
I want to read more. And
you
you gave me a pamphlet.
So 2 other things we should talk about. Yeah. National Motorist Association.
It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff.
All the stuff is on the website. But 2 things that people should know about that are coming is they want to charge you for every mile that you drive. So it's a vehicle miles tax.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So, and now they're claiming that it's just because a lot of people are adopting EVs, right? So electric vehicles. So, we have to make up for the lost gas tax to pay for the roads. But that's not really what it's about. They want to control your behavior. So think about this.
Yep.
They will allot you a certain amount of miles at a certain price. If you go over that, they're going to charge you more for the next tier, and then they'll charge you more for the next tier, and then so the more you drive, the price per mile will go up because you've driven more than they think you should.
Interesting. And who are they to decide how much anyone should drive?
They're the government. They think they should decide everything about your life.
National Motorist Association. Yeah. Motors.org. Oh, you can become a member. You can make a donation. And all the latest news on driving in America this week.
You can reach out to me on there. You can talk to me directly. Ooh, it's exciting.
It is exciting. And you're on Twitter. Look at that.
Yeah, we are on Twitter. Or X.
No, I'll never.
I know that's funny. I refuse to call it X.
At motorists. You've got the at motorists handle.
Yep, we do.
I don't like people trying to tell me how fast I can drive or not drive. I'm going to drive as fast as the old Ford Focus will allow me.
Which is what, 30 miles an hour? I had a Ford Focus one.
They're good cars.
They're good cars.
They last forever.
I still drive my 94 Toyota Celica.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
It's actually parked downstairs in the parking lot right now.
Yeah, I like to just drive a car until it won't start anymore.
I agree. It's a 30-year-old car. Let me tell you something. Battery-operated vehicles are not going to last 30 years.
Right. How long do you think they'll last?
10 at the most, and then you can't resell them.
Jeez.
And then it costs like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, $10,000 to replace the battery or whatever. So
do you guys look into, I guess, like which politicians are like fighting either for or against these type of measures?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We keep track of that. We bring them to task if they're
Okay.
yeah.
So that, yeah, people, you can find out like who in your area is supporting basically like, yeah, get an electric vehicle and throw out your freedom as a motorist.
And it's interesting, you know, we say a lot of this is
this is funny from the chat. I'm not listening to a guy driving a 96 Celica. Sick bird.
It's not the only car I have.
Yeah,
It's
come
I
on.
mean, but
That's
it's
just
a classic. Come on.
That's his knocking around
Let me say
car.
this. If you talk to the folks at Toyota at any of the dealerships, they'll tell you that's the 94 Celica, 94 to 97 or 98.
Those are great years.
It's called the 6th gen Celicas. Got to be a car guy to understand this stuff. But for the haters out there,
Yeah,
it's the
don't
best,
hate.
one of the best Toyotas
Don't
they
hate
ever
on the
made.
96
Don't
Celica.
hate on my Celica.
Just like I will not tolerate any hating on my 2010 Ford Focus.
Right, there you go.
A Ford Focus can go faster than a Prius, that's for sure. I like it. It used to belong to a priest that we knew that died, and
Really?
yeah, and so it's free,
It's
which was very
perfect.
exciting. And there was a little bottle of red wine
Mhm.
in the driver's seat door. There was a clergy parking pass, and I still have it,
So-
like in case of emergency, in case I need to. There was a little thing of holy water. I just dumped it all over myself. No, it was empty, but it was a holy water container.
Do you feel like now that you have this car, like there's still some halo effect and it's like you're
Yeah,
protected?
I
The
do
Lord is
feel
protecting
like
you as you
it-
drive
It
around.
might have been blessed. I'm not gonna mess it.
They would think, oh, there's still a priest in it.
There's
Well,
a-
no, the
there's a-
Lord knows everything, so
He
you can't,
does.
Right? So
But
he knows
there's
it's not the
a
priest.
keep the Christ and Christmas magnet on the back. I haven't
There you go.
taken it off, and I've driven the car for like 3 years. I'm like, I'm not gonna mess with this
Look,
situation.
Yeah, whether you
here.
believe in that or not, it's a good luck talisman. So
Yeah, I'm just like I have to protect the vibe of the car. It very much looks like an old man drives the car, so I don't think it's something anybody wants to break into.
The police are not targeting you. Right?
No, I'm not being what's it called? Profile. Yeah.
Right.
Wow, that's so neat. Everybody follow Jay on Twitter at motorists or go to motorist.org. Certainly there are car guys in the chat listening
Of
right
course
now,
they have to be.
Nice.
But you don't have to be a car guy. You just have to be just somebody who needs to get from point A to point B.
which is
And
everyone.
Which is everyone.
Nice.
One other thing that they're trying to do before we go, so you know,
Okay.
they are trying to eliminate right turn on red. So they want you to sit at a
What?
traffic light.
That's
Yeah,
my favorite thing to do.
I know. And they're trying to. They want you to sit at a traffic light at 2:00 in the morning and not be able to turn right on red when there's nobody around. This is the craziness that they are.
They're just
and-
like, how can we control people? What else can we do?
What else can we do to make it as miserable as possible? And that's their goal.
Do
They
you
want to
think
make
the
driving as
Autobahn
miserable
would
as
be
possible.
restricted in this way? Or no, they won't touch it.
They've talked about it, but that's Germany, you know.
You can't really tell the Germans what
Germans
to
are
do.
going to pick up guns and they're going to come after you to take away their
The
Autobahn.
Germans, we're a very intense people. We don't really like criticisms or
Here's
suggestions.
the thing: our interstate highway system is modeled on the Autobahn.
Oh, okay.
In
That's
1956, when they passed the law, they were like, "See what they're doing over in Germany?
Cool. Yeah,
We'll take the good stuff from Germany."
right.
just the
Which
good
is
stuff.
most of it. Everyone
Right.
likes to focus on the bad.
Right, but so then they say, "Well, they got good highways. They're
Great
very efficient,
highways.
so we're going to build those
They're
here.
snazzy dressers. They're very neat and tidy. They make their beds
Very orderly."
very
Very
orderly.
orderly.
Sometimes too much so. But yeah. All right. Cool. Jay, it was nice to meet
It
you.
was great meeting you.
Any other like parting words for the audience?
Yeah, don't give in. Don't give in. You know how to live your life better than they know how to live your life.
Just keep buying your used your gas powered cars.
That's right.
Because nothing's happening right now. It may feel like you have to go get one, but they're all.
No,
but
they're-
there's no like
They're
used electric
piling up.
cars.
They're piling up on auto lots now. They can't sell them.
Really?
Yeah, they can't sell them.
They
because-
can't sell them.
Because here's the thing: most of the people we talked about this forever. Most of the people who are the early adopters who really wanted them have
Mhm.
now gotten them. So now it's just sort of trying to convince new
Trying
people.
to break
get-
down you and I, the
Yeah,
people
exactly.
with the free cars,
Exactly.
or the people who just.
Yeah.
I like to go to the gas station and sort of like.
Do you like to go?
I like to pump
That's
my
fun.
own gas. Yeah, I like to buy an air freshener. I like to buy gum. I like to use the quarter powered vacuum. Well, it's really like
You lead a very exciting life.
it's
right?
thrilling. I love to put the dollar and quarters in the vacuum and just like see how much I can vacuum before it runs out. And the gas station vacuum is way stronger than like anything at home.
Has anyone ever said you're a cheap date? Is it like
yes,
like
I get that a lot.
I
get that. That's
just
my
take
best
her
quality.
to a gas station,
Gas
put a quarter
station,
in the
Taco Bell.
vacuum,
Uh,
and it's an
the
evening.
gas station vacuum is so powerful. It'll clean your whole car. Cool Jay. Everyone check out Jay, motorist.org. Car guys, follow him on Twitter. Don't give up your gas powered car.
Yeah. And fight back against all of the nonsense that's forcing you out of your car. You don't have to take it.
You don't have to ride the bus.
You don't have to ride the bike.
You don't have to walk everywhere.
You don't have to ride a bicycle. Just because they say you should, you do not have to do that. Live free. Drive your
free
car.
Or die.
Yep.
But probably just live free.
Live free.
Yeah. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Thanks
It's
for
great meeting
stopping
you.
by. I'll see you around.
Yep. Take care.
Thank you. I think I have a pastor coming by soon.
Oh,
so
really?
Maybe I'll tell him about my car.
Yeah, well, maybe he'll bless you and the car.
That would be great. Well, I didn't bring it here. It's in New York.
Oh, okay.
But
but you know,
sorry, all my wires
it's okay.
are
I'm gonna try not to knock
they're
out
set
the
up
entire podcast.
perfectly for you to trip.
Destroy your live stream.
Yes.
Alrighty. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Nice
Say
to
bye
see you.
Jay. Bye, Jay. Whee.
I'm coming back to
Motorist.org.
that.
Oh, how awkward. He has to get his bag. No relation to Justin Bieber, so stop asking. No relation to Justin Bieber.
No relationships. But when I was getting rid of red light cars in Los Angeles, they used to, when I called the staff, they would call their boss Justin Bieber's on the phone.
That's great.
It got me in a lot of doors.
Good. Keep using it.
Alrighty.
See you, Jay.
Thank you.
Toodle-doodle. Toodle-doo. Adios, muchacho. He wanted Jay, your glasses. Your glasses. You did a leave behind. Sorry. The old leave behind. I know that move well. That used to be my signature move. All right, there was a pastor that was supposed to come by, and then I was frantically getting my equipment together, and I told him to go away, so I don't know if he'll be back. That's how it goes. I had a line of people wanting to come on, and then I wasn't ready. And now they're gone. I have to pee so bad. He did want to stay, right? I have that effect on people. Part of what I do here is if I don't understand what someone does, I have to quickly figure it out. And then whether I'm interested or not, I have to make it look like I'm interested. No, I was genuinely interested. Like the car issue affects everybody. I do a lot of, this might sound like a dumb question, but so let me pull up the schedule for today while we wait for our pastor. You know what I wish I had is like a portable bathroom. Look at it. Listen to that background noise. Oh my God, there's a golden doodle right here coming by. But he's definitely working. He's definitely a service dog. So we're not gonna pet this dog. I'm not even gonna ask, because that would be disrespectful. He's a golden doodle. Oh, what a good dog. It's like a big muffin, but black. Service dog, do not pet. I read it loud and clear. Oh my God, I love dogs. I had a couple dogs yesterday. K-Max, I detect passive aggressiveness in this chat. Super chat or don't, as usual. No pressure. There's never any pressure to super chat. Can I pet that dog? Yeah, I was interviewing Jake the Shaman yesterday at one of the hotels that folks are staying at here in the lobby. Because at first I was like going to do a TimCast from my room. And then I was like, realized in my room, it's like there's 2 beds and 1 chair. And I was like, all right, well, this is not the most professional look to just be Jake the Shaman, come up to my hotel, come up to this hotel room and do a podcast. And I was like, no, we got to do it from this lobby here. So that worked out fantastically. Shout out to Ari Jacob, who was basically my location manager yesterday. And she held down the lobby zone with the chairs. And she kind of dealt with the guy at the hotel who was trying to shut it down, who kept saying, oh, there's people in the background. And I was like, nobody cares about the people in the background, okay? They care about me. And they care about Jake the Shaman. Jake went on the Jimmy Dore show in a suit and tie. He looked funny. I can't even picture him out of his outfit. And I want to ask him if he has that same outfit, but in multiple sets. Like he's wearing today. He's wearing like a little camouflage vest with the American flag on it, but it also says do not pet. I don't know. I don't feel like the dog would have opted to put that patch there. You know, I mean, I think that's the owner that doesn't want you to pet him. I think a lot of dogs generally like being pet. Frank Wolf Connell, thanks for the super chat. You doing okay? You've been burning the candle both ends the past 2 weeks. Worried about you. Who knows? That's a great question. I don't know. I'm exhausted always and stressed always, and my equipment doesn't work. And I'm always hungry, tired, and thirsty. But other than that, everything's great. The equipment thing not working is frustrating as hell. Because this webcam that I was using, well, this is Ryan's that I'm using right now. But the webcam I was using even yesterday, worked fine yesterday. It was my go-to camera that I was using at my home setup for the better part of the last 2-3 years. And I only just last week bought a new camera. So it's almost like it's timed out perfectly. And like, this is my travel Yeti mic. This is like my go-to microphone. It was the first one I started out with, and then it was just my travel microphone. But then it wasn't even like working. And then you're like, God, you have to just do the equivalent of like blowing on the Nintendo, and you have to just restart your computer and pray and unplug things and plug things. And it's just like, it's part of the deal. I hate to complain so much. It's part of the deal. Yeah. I guess I'm okay. I don't know. Hey Max, who gave the best speech yesterday? I saw Vivek speak and he said, fuck Van Jones of CNN seemed based. Oh God, I didn't even see any of the speeches yesterday. I was so busy running around. But they all can be accessed on the TPUSA website. I saw that they were posting them like pretty quickly, like pretty soon after, which is awesome. They have a big crew here. They're on top of it. Look at this. Watch AmFest live. It's like a live feed. We could see what's going on right now. So far, I mean, I've only seen Roseanne's speech from the first day. And wow, that might be the only speech I've seen. It's hard to be in a few different places at once. Okay, let's check out this. It's the live feed. What's going? James Lindsay's on right now.
After our kids, they're doing so unapologetically. They want to create more people to be trans. Trans is a social contagion. Would you agree with that?
It's worse than that. There's a pressure pump into it. It's worse than social contagion. But yeah, so they demonize these basic white girl identities, and that's predominantly who's getting swept up in this. They demonize these identities. You can't be cool. You have nothing to stand on. Your race is a problem. This is CRT working together with queer theory, but guess what? It's perfectly cool. You become one of the most celebrated and interesting people in your class if you adopt a sexual identity or especially a gender identity. By the way, gender doesn't exist. That's just made up. Like, gender identity is literally a cult grooming term that is designed to mislead children and to confuse adults into supporting them into their own destruction. So they confuse these poor kids and they destroy them. That's what it's for. It's all it's for, Charlie. It's just to destroy kids so that they can turn them into a revolutionary army.
So James, do you think we're going to see a push or a focus on getting rid of child protection laws, legalizing pedophilia? Is that part of this?
I mean, you already see the pushes, and it's like, I don't say It is sometimes actually in the queer theory literature, but it's more accurate to say that the pedophile stuff is never far from the queer theory literature.
And some of their writers are pedophiles.
Well, that's true. Foucault, for example, that's right. But you see, for example, just after David Halperin defines queer, he says, well, it could mean a lot of things. So it could mean people that are in, non-traditional marriages or marriages with children, very naughty children, for example. And it's in italics. It's like, what are you talking about, David?
Yeah, I saw your comment.
Who's credited as writing the
This,
first
I
paper
think
on
they
queer
said there's
theory
at least
called
between
Thinking
like
Sex.
13 and
She has, like,
20,000
3 or
people
4
here.
sections in there where she's defending what she calls intergenerational sexual relations. And then also she has a long section where she openly defends and says nobody will stand up for the boy lovers. So it's never far from the queer theory literature. I call it the dark heart of queer theory, is that there is this deep-seated agreement with the pedophiles. It's not necessarily the whole school, but it's a deep-seated agreement that's never far from the literature.
And there certainly isn't denunciation or intentional separation, but there's almost kind of parallel tacit approval, or at the very least indifference to that. Would that be right?
Yeah, that's right.
And so I want to make sure that we really keep hitting this. James, battle plan. How do we beat the groomers? How do we beat the people who are queering our kids and trying to turn the entire country gay and trans?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to answer that part of the question. We have the thing that these people fear the most is clear articulations that expose what they're doing. That's why they hide behind these language things. I mean, I've heard the F word off the stage, so I'll use it.
No,
don't do it. I'll say effing.
We got some homeschoolers here, and I got a lot of emails yesterday.
One of their actual terms.
Vivek, he caused me so many problems.
Vivek. Yeah, that's who I was. Well, I'm not going to go to the bathroom in the middle of this either, Charlie.
Oh my God, I got so many homeschool moms. They were swearing at me.
Gender effing, Charlie. Gender effing. That is a term of art.
Thank you. God bless, James.
That is a technical term in the field. It's an activity to make gender more weird, like it's not weird enough. So what do? We have to expose them. We have to expose them with clarity. We have to show how they are building these apparatuses, implementing these apparatuses, getting them in the schools, that they are using trauma bonding, that they are changing definitions. Here's an example. The DSM-5, when it talks about gender dysphoria, which used to have a completely different name, it used to be treated as another one of these delusional identity disorders like anorexia or one of these things where the goal is to treat the underlying disorder. But what it does is now is it switches to say we're going to treat the distress associated with the disorder. So now the goal isn't to treat the disorder, it's to treat the distress associated. So what do? Affirm it. And what that actually does is leads them further down the path. That this is a cult with a cult doctrine, with a cult set of beliefs, with the goal of cult recruitment. They can't recruit adults easily, except by making them sympathetic to their children after they recruit their children, has to be exposed. And then we're going to have to start bringing increasing amounts of the law to bear on this, whether that's medical malpractice lawsuits all over the place. We're going to need expert witnesses who can pull apart the lies from the American Psychological Association on this, the American Psychiatric Association on this, the American Medical Association, 62 different medical associations around the world representing 1.3 million professionals have all signed on to the idea of gender affirming care, which should rightly be called queer cult brainwashing.
So James, so glad you brought that up. I want to detour for a second and have you answer. When I go on campus, they'll argue from their piece of evidence they'll say, Charlie, this must be right because the AMA, because this 1.3 million.
Hello. Oh my goodness. All right, let me take the volume off this here. Hello, I just met your mom, and your mom is like your biggest cheerleader, and she's like, you have to talk to my son. He's running for Congress.
I'm very fortunate to have my biggest fan be my mom.
It's great. You probably don't have to pay her.
No, not very much.
Yeah, you just be like, look, mom, I'll buy you lunch, and that'll be that.
Yeah, my mom has been one of the least expensive parts of my campaign, but she's certainly not free. She's expensive.
Definitely. Well, you have the hair. I don't know what you're running for or what you're doing, but you have the hair and the outfit and the tie.
Thank you.
Down.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm running for Congress against Mark Takano in the 39th district in Riverside, California.
Okay.
And
I'll be in San Diego January 5th and 6th at the Mic Drop Comedy Club.
Oh,
if you want to come, I'll put you on the comp list.
I would love to come.
No pressure.
So I used to run a real estate office called Our Community.
Okay.
And during COVID, we had comedy every Friday and Saturday night.
Ooh.
We had senior Sundays. We had military mixers on Mondays.
I love that.
But I grew up, I did sketch comedy. I did stand up.
Oh, cool.
And so I love stand up comedy.
Okay,
stand-up
awesome.
comedy. Yeah.
I do that as well as podcasting. I don't seem funny right now, but let me tell you, like after a few drinks, it really gets going. And I'm pregnant right now, so I won't be able to have a drink for a long time. Thank you.
Well, then we're gonna have to hold off on you being funny. Then I guess like
yes,
6 months.
I won't be funny for maybe another year. So are you from California?
I am. I'm born and raised in California, and unfortunately, we've got so many people that are good people in California that they get up and they leave. And
a lot of them have left. A lot of them actually come here to Arizona or Texas or maybe less so Florida, but like a lot of them have come here.
And it kills me because, we've got a beautiful state. The Golden State's a most beautiful state, in my opinion, in the entire country. And we're rich in resources. And yet it's so expensive to live here that, you can't retire and stay in California. So people, have to leave the Golden State in order to enjoy their golden years. Yeah. And we lose a lot of really great people because freedom is financial freedom. And if you cannot afford to do what you want to do with your life, are you really free? Right. And so in California, we pay more than 50% of our wages to taxes. And so we don't own our homes. We don't own our businesses. And if you don't own your business and if you don't own your home, are you really free?
No. I've always been a renter, so I've never felt free.
Yeah, I get that. And at this point, there's less than 16% of people that can afford to buy houses, right?
Right. The mortgage rates are what, like at 9?
Yeah,
maybe at this point?
Over 8%. Ooh. And then the average homeowner is 49 years old. And so we end up in a situation where an entire generation of people has been sold downriver by the people that came before them. The American dream is completely disappearing.
Where you're running for Congress, I know that the the problem is so bad, like in around like the LA area. Mm-hmm. But I've only really been to like LA, San Diego, and maybe a little bit of Santa Monica.
The homeless problem is bad everywhere in California. I have 5 kids. We have a blended family, and I decided that we were going to load up an RV and we were going to go see this beautiful state that we live in. Yeah. And every single time that we pulled over to go get gas, or that we pulled over to go get food. It didn't matter where we were in the state of California. There were homeless people under the bridge. There was a homeless encampment. There were people asking for money at the gas station. And so we have a lot of problems here, and yet we continue to send our money abroad. The Department of Sorry, go ahead.
That's infuriating. I'm like, gee, could have done a lot with $16 billion. Like, anywhere. Like, I don't know. You could just fix all of California, all of Detroit, all of Chicago. Like, it's really mind-blowing.
The Department of Defense, and I'm a Marine Corps combat veteran. The Department of Defense has failed its 5th consecutive audit. They're unable to account for 61% of $3.5 trillion throughout the globe. That's we're on the brink of World War III.
So where's it going? Where do you think?
It's become a corrupt money laundering scheme. And so we fund over 70% of the world's authoritarian dictatorships. Our annual military budget is $889 billion a year. And over 70% of that goes directly to private military contractors. And so we've gotten to a point to where this NATO, this military alliance, is trying to control the world so much so that the rest of the world has now started responding through a monetary alliance. So we've got our military alliance.
Are you talking about BRICS?
I'm talking about BRICS.
Yeah.
4.5 billion people pulling together that are ready to de-dollarize and attack us monetarily, which I don't blame them at all. With all the currency manipulation that we've gone through in this country, we deserve to be taken on the chin.
It's sad though. That's a crying. Someone get that crying baby out of here.
Yeah. When we not only fund the people that hate us, we fund everybody. We sent $6 billion to Iran for that hostage situation. And
right. Do we fund just both sides of every
war? Both sides of every war.
And I don't know anything about
anything. So the Department of Defense funding both sides of every war is like all these political prostitutes that run all these campaigns, right? Yeah. So win or lose, they get paid. Win or lose, they win.
Must be nice.
It must be really nice. And so I had people tell me, I could tell you some things that would absolutely blow your mind.
Yes, please do.
You guys want to blow the lid back on some stuff?
31 people watching. They won't tell anyone.
Oh, you guys ready for this? So when I decided that I was going to run for office, the first thing that they do is you go down to the Republican Party, the Central Committee, which is really like the red light district, right? These are political prostitutes, and they're all dangling their leg out, telling you how much they cost and whatnot. And so what ends up happening is they say, how much equity do you have in your house? That's the first question that they ask you.
Wow.
How much equity do you have in your house? 100,000, 150,000 to get started? And I met a lot of these people that ran for the seat that I'm running for who took out these $150,000 loans, $100,000 loans against their house and still lost. And so this political consultant who is an acting mayor, she told me, she said, I want you to pay me $75,000 to run your campaign, whether you win or lose. And if you don't pay the $75,000, I will sue you and I will win.
Oh my God.
I said,
this was your competition?
No, this is somebody who wanted to run my my political campaign for me.
Oh, to be your handler.
She wanted me to hire her.
Oof.
Yeah.
Very corrupt.
And she actually is the one that spoke out against me at my local Central Committee, a Republican Central Committee. I have no other Republican running against me.
Wow.
And she spoke out against me so that they wouldn't endorse me.
It just seems like they just don't want you to run. They're like doing whatever they can to make it more difficult.
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing is not only do they not want you to run, they want a lot of people to run. They want 4 Republicans running for every seat so that they can charge every one of them $100,000, $150,000.
What a racket.
Because that's exactly what it is. It's all about money laundering. It's all about the racket. And if you don't play the game, you have to pay to play. And if you don't play, we only raised $3,500, and we cleared the primary. Wow. So I'm the only Republican in the race. Thank you to my campaign manager, Dr. Chrissie Mayr, who is a volunteer. I'm the only Republican in the race. It's just me and Mark Decano. And
wow,
that costs us $3,500.
Who has better hair? Be honest.
I have much better hair.
You're in.
Much better hair.
We have a question from the chat. Oh, my husband, Frank. What are David's thoughts on annexing completely or splitting California up into different states?
Interesting. So I wrote a book called Common Sense for California, A Guide to the New Revolution. And one of the things that I talked about in that book was splitting off California and letting California become its own republic. And the reason for that is there's so much corruption in this country that I want to be able to audit government effectively. We spend so much money on federal income taxes, state income taxes, and local income taxes that we're spending over 50% of our income is going directly to the government. And so I did the math, and it turns out that Californians spend so much on federal income taxes that if we just eliminated federal income taxes from that, and we became the Republic of California, we could afford to give every man, woman, and child in the state of California $6,012 annually or $501 a month.
Wow. I think that's a big reason why people move out of California is the income taxes.
That's right.
I mean, I'm from New York. I think that was a big reason why basically everyone in my family, except for me, has moved out of New York.
The cost of living has become incredible. My sister she retired from the military, and she went to West Virginia.
Your whole family is. Thank all of you guys.
We got a bunch of patriots in my family. She's also a combat vet, but you can't live on a military retirement in California. So she left, and it breaks my heart. Jeez. But what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a bunch of people in California that can't afford to leave, and they can't afford to stay. And then what happens?
They become homeless, and they have to pick out a bridge to live under.
Yeah.
No, it's very sad.
Or it bubbles to the top and we have a revolution. I don't want any violence. And no. I'm the first person to tell people that. I am a combat veteran. I don't want to see Americans harming Americans on American soil. I have no interest whatsoever. The meek shall inherit the earth. Those that are capable of violence, but decide not to be violent.
And those are the same people that seek power. It seems like the people that seek power or that have a ton of money are not the people you want in charge.
Unfortunately, we talk about the swamp. You can't drain half of a swamp. There's swamp creatures on the Republican and Democratic side. And what we need to do is we need to drain the swamp completely, get rid of all of the swamp creatures, and then pave it over.
Get all new plumbing. It's not even you can't even drain it because the pipes are clogged.
Yeah. We got to pave it over. We got to freaking completely build a new infrastructure because the problem is deeply rooted. And so if we return to common sense, which that's what my campaign is about. Can we agree that we need water to drink in the state of California? Can we grow our crops so that we can grow the food that we eat here? Can we agree that we need to have our lights on? We need energy. And so we should be drilling for oil. We should be investing in nuclear energy and uranium to enrich uranium to make nuclear energy. And can we agree on the third thing? That you can't have a country if you can't defend it. So we need to focus on defense at our border, not defense through military imperialism. You know, it doesn't make any sense as a homeowner if I were to tear down my fence of my house and then go into my neighbor's house and hold his wife at gunpoint, his kids at gunpoint, and say, "This is for my defense."
Yeah.
That's how our foreign policy works.
How is the migrant problem big, like where you're living right now, or is that not a concern very much of like the people in your area?
So there's a lot of immigrants coming into the area, and the reason why there's a lot of immigrants coming into the area is because there's room for them. We incentivize it, and so the Chamber of Commerce in any city is going to be some of your most pro-immigrant people out there. All the business groups are the people that really want to flood our markets with cheap labor.
That makes sense. I thought it was more just like to get in Democrat voters.
That's part of it, right? But a big part of it is remember when we wouldn't go back to work?
Yes, that was a great time.
Yeah, we wouldn't go back to work.
We're still there. A lot of people are still hanging on to that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are like, hey, listen, I'm not willing to work, 40, 50 hours a week if I can't even pay for my rent. I'm not going to do it. And so I would rather starve and consolidate and live with other people or whatnot. And so because they couldn't get us to go back to work and they couldn't force us to go back to work, they start flooding the market with low income wage earners.
That makes sense. Wow, what a mess. But guess what? David's here to fix it. And if you're in California, in which district?
The 39th, which is Riverside, California, Paris, Harupa Valley, and Moreno Valley.
Okay, hit him up. Where can people follow you on social media or support you?
Thank you. My website's David Serpa, SERPA, for Congress, FOR, Congress.com. And all of my social media links are there, but I'm on everything.
Okay, good. You have to be on everything. What about TikTok?
I'm on TikTok too.
Wow.
I'm not dancing on TikTok, but I'm cutting together some good videos.
Okay, good. Well, maybe he'll start dancing if he really needs the votes. Thank you, David. It was so nice to meet you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on.
To you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Chrissie.
We have people listening in California for sure. What? April 18th or 19th. And it's a boy. Yay! Oh my God, thank you so much. I know, it's fun. It's okay. I said, oh my God, yes, please, come jump on.
Yeah, so there's my partner, Matt. We wanted to meet you. We've been waiting.
We're live. If one of you wants to sit down, or maybe two of you, I can squeeze a chair in.
Chrissie, I just want to say
Hi,
hi, it's Jamie.
Jamie. Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you guys. Yeah, I had
Sorry, I know you're.
I'm live. Good. Everyone can look at my boobs. All three. Oh, look, the viewers are going up. Yeah, I had Jude. We were talking a little bit yesterday.
So funny.
I didn't tell her that I was pregnant, and I was like, well, it's just like someone said it was glowing or whatever. I'm like, it's the bronzer, and then I was like, I have a man inside me, and she was like, oh no. I'm pregnant with like a boy, and like, but the immediate concern really touched me, and I was like, I know people. She was like, I can help you. Like, there's resources. We can counsel you.
Because you're clearly a beautiful.
You would not be a good dude. You're definitely not be as good a looking of a man.
That's so funny.
Oh my God. So you guys want to come on and like chat real quick? Tell the people who you are.
Okay.
You want to say hi? Oh, hi guys. I want to make sure I follow everybody. Yes, hello, it's Matt. Matt from Gays Against Groomers.
Hey.
Is this your first Turning Point USA event?
No, we were at the last one too.
What is your accent? Where are you from?
I'm from England, but I've lived here in Arizona for 3 years.
Wow, don't lose the accent. Don't pick up whatever trashy local dialects they speak here. Don't. That's your special thing. When did you join Gays Against Groomers?
At the beginning, actually, I was the first trans person. I'm since in detransition. I still look male, but it's because you can't reverse these changes.
I would never have honestly guessed that. I don't know if that's a compliment, but like I would have never you look very male to me. So
I don't know whether to say thank you or not because I'm confused with myself lately. Because I'm physically I've been off hormones for a year now,
okay.
and because they've destroyed me, I'm so ill. I have terrible health issues. I have seizures all the time. I now get adult tics because of the neurological hormonal epilepsy I have from hormones. They shouldn't be doing this to kids. It's sick. It's evil. It's child abuse.
Mm-hmm. How old? And it's like really amazing that you even feel comfortable talking about this because everything is so like personal. But how old were you? What I guess sort of factors made you want to transition in the first place?
So ever since I was a young kid, since age 5 actually, I said to my mom, I think I was meant to be a boy. I think I'm in the wrong body. And when I look back now, it's hilarious because I didn't know what it was like to be in the other body, you know. But it's because gender dysphoria and body dysmorphia are very similar things, you know. It's something you don't like about who you are, your body. And I told my mom at age 5, you know, hey mom, I think I'm a boy, and she laughed in my face, and rightly so, because I thought I was Batman the day before. You know,
you're biologically female, or
yes,
male?
Biologically female.
Okay, and so how old were you when you transitioned? Like
I was age 25, so the fact that I'd already reached the mental development stage and things, and I have still got all these health conditions now, shows that I'm beginning to think this isn't safe for anybody. In fact, especially when it comes to children, the thing I call it is the modern day lobotomy, because it's completely experimental. They're sterilizing the children, and if you can do that, you destroy the future, because that's what the children are.
Wow. And it's like, could you even make a case for someone like, well, being sterilized is worth living your life like how you feel fits you?
It's not, because here's the thing, right? Through my journey with transition, something I learned was that you are constantly trying to achieve a goal you are never going to reach, because every time you think you're getting there, the goalpost gets moved back. Now, even me presenting how I do, you know, I do look male. I would find myself in social situations around actual men, and I couldn't fit in with them because I'm not a man. And so no matter how many hormones you take, no matter how much surgery you have, you cannot change your gender. And the people who are saying to the kids, would you rather have a dead daughter or a live son?
They say that all the time, and I think they use it to threaten parents and just being like, okay, whatever you want.
I discovered depression the worst from the health conditions I've had from transition. So in my opinion, you're more likely to want to end your life if you've made a choice you can't take back. This is permanent, you know, like I stopped taking hormones, you know, for over a year now, but when it comes to the physical aspect, how I look, I don't even care about the social side, because if I was to try and look like a woman again, I'd look like a trans woman. It would just create more problems. If I had took hormones the other way again, the estrogen, I'd get even sicker. They are making people into permanent medical patients. So the way I see it as, yes, I'm stuck looking like this. I'm stuck looking like this forever. But if I can save even just one child from being mutilated, that makes me able to deal with my bad decision.
Yeah. What's your relationship like with your parents now? Were they like very supportive at first? Like, did they?
They, honestly, when it first happened, I got made homeless at age 18 because I was dragged in by the ideology. You know, and as a kid, you've been there. You know, when you're a kid, you think your parents are out to get you. You don't realize they just want the best for you. And they used to say to me, "Hey, like, you could be a tomboy, that's all right. Or what if you're a lesbian? That's okay." But at the time, I was so weaponized by this ideology, and it wasn't even as bad back then as it is now. I'm 32 now. You know, it was nothing like it is now, and it broke us down. You know, the ratio was broken down, and I actually had a really heartfelt conversation with Mum about 2 months ago. I rang her up, and I'm going to get emotional even saying it because it's hard not to cry when I say it. I broke down in tears to her and said, "I'm sorry for taking your daughter away."
I know, but like, you're still you know?
I am, but I wish, because my parents tried, but I wish I'd have had someone else who I would have listened to, who could have told me to love myself, because then I wouldn't have.
It's all right. You were young and confused, and you thought that was the best course of action. You thought that course of action would make you love yourself more, and it would help you find your way. And that's how it's pitched to kids, that it's like the light at the end of the tunnel.
They sell it like a dream, and it will solve all your problems.
You can't beat yourself up. Like, you're doing like absolutely what like God has intended for you to do, and that's just be like a light and speak truth and like reach people. And it's like, because of like the way, even just in 5 minutes and talking to you, like the way you are, like you have such warmth, and you're not like you don't have like a chip on your shoulder. You're not like negative. You're not like, well, the world fucked me over, so why bother? Like you're not letting it get you down.
The way I take it is I got to a point where I nearly got depressed, and then I thought, hold on a minute, me going through these health issues, all the people who are selling this like it's safe and it's fine and nothing's going to happen. The fact that this has happened to me, I choose to see it as a blessing because it amplifies my voice for the children. They can't say, oh, this isn't happening, this is fine. I'm suffering every single day, and then my wife has to suffer too because she has to see me suffering. And I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. And all of these people who are doing this to kids, I can't wait to see you rot in jail because you are monsters.
It's gotta come back and bite them at some point. Like we already see this happening in Scandinavian countries where they just are certain places are refusing to do any kind of like gender, I guess, like reinforcement therapy or surgery, and like there a lot of the truth about how dangerous the surgeries are is coming out. And like I think what you're doing is really amazing because I bet most people in your position would never want to be a public figure. They would not want to speak about it. They're
scared.
Feel
the backlash is horrible. I mean, since I started speaking up, what made me speak up actually was when Rachel Levine said we need to empower trans kids. And I was so angry, and I was so scared to speak up before because you know how the left can be. They attack, and I've always been quite a sensitive person. And I never wanted to be viral either, but I couldn't sit back anymore. And I made a video. It got picked up by conservative Ant straight away. And then the next thing I was asked to join Gays Against Groomers. And I've had some horrible things said to me. You know, I've been told that if the Holocaust was going on right now, I would have rounded up my own people on the trains. I've been told I hate myself, that I can't speak for the trans community because I was never trans to start with.
and this is all coming from the trans community or
yes,
like
the people who
leftist allies.
The
right?
love and unity people, yes. And then on the other hand,
The love is love
conservatives.
people, yeah.
Conservatives have been so wonderful. They have been so wonderful. And, you know, what keeps me going as well is the parents, you know, when they know what we do and they see us in public and they say, thank you. That is what keeps me going because my heart breaks for these parents. They used to send their kids to school to learn and now they're being sent to propaganda camps. That's what school has become. The education is failing because they're being pumped with this gender ideology and stuff that they do not need to be learning. It's opening the door to pedophilia too. And it's terrifying to see. And my advice to parents with this would be, please be 10 steps ahead of the school boards, what your kids are learning, and do not let them drive a wedge between you because there's secrecy being added into school now. Oh, you can tell me your pronouns. We won't tell your parents. Absolutely no way. Fight people. Like, if they tell you you can't speak on these topics because you're not gay, don't listen to that. Even if you haven't even got kids, okay? Protecting children is in all of our best interests. The children are the future. We have to protect the future. Fight for them, please. They are voiceless. We have to be their voice.
Right, because even if you yourself don't have kids, like you might have stepchildren, you might have nieces and nephews. It's like everyone knows that have kids that are close to them, that are in their lives. We have a question. Thank you, Patrick, Patriotic Gestalt, for the 20. It's a miracle you don't have a dark heart, Matt.
Thank
so
you.
It's very, people can tell you're very special and you have a purpose.
I appreciate you.
JB says Ohio State legislature just passed a trans surgery ban for kids, hoping our governor signs it. Props to Gays Against Groomers for fighting the good fight. Thank you, JB.
Thank you.
What are some of the signs? And it's like, I'm sure some parents who might still be in denial, like, I don't want to be a helicopter parent, or maybe, I mean, the lockdowns were a huge eye-opening moment. It's where a lot of parents were first hearing, like on Zoom, like what their kids were actually learning in class. But like, what are some of the sort of like red flags that you could like see or hear either from your kid or from the teacher? Like, what are like, where could a parent start to try to discern like if they should be worried?
From teachers, it's actually pretty simple because they're not even hiding it. Look at their classroom. They're sticking the pride flag everywhere.
So it's like looking at the classroom.
They're replacing
visually.
the American flag for the pride flag, you know, and they're bragging on TikTok. The amount of teachers I have seen who are saying, this is what we're teaching your kids, and they're shameless. They do not care. But regarding the children, see how much time they're spending on social media, especially TikTok, because that's where the biggest social contagion is happening right now. See if they're trying to bind their breasts in certain ways because they're being taught ways without getting binders to do it using bandages,
right, etc. They're probably not asking their parents for binders.
No.
Like there's probably ways they can get them for free at school, or they're ordering it secretly or wearing it secretly. So yeah, I would like see if they're starting to look like just they're hiding something, or
monitor their general happiness as well, because I've had so many parents reach out to me saying very concerning things. They've said that their children came home crying because they're the only one in their class who's straight, and because of that they've been told they're not special and they don't have any friends and they're being bullied for it.
Wow, it's like, and I read this really great book that I will always mention. It's by Abigail Schreier, and it was called Irreplaceable Damage or something like that. And she talks all about how typically girls, like preteen or teen girls, they'll sort of come out and they'll do this in groups, like in their friend group. And it's kind of like, you don't want to be the only straight one. You don't want to be the only one who doesn't have a thing, who doesn't have a special pronoun or sexuality. And so they'll kind of force it just to fit in.
That there was a teacher who went on TikTok and said the most disgusting thing. She said that she had a student in her class who had been brave enough, that was the word she used, brave enough to disclose his pronouns to her. And that she then told the class, and they all wanted pronouns too. Now, what that says to us is that this teacher made that kid feel special, and then all the other children felt like they were inferior, and so they felt like they had to have pronouns too. It's sick. She then went on to say, it's disgusting that these kids have unsafe adults. That's what she's calling parents.
Unsafe?
That's unsafe adults.
So arrogant to think like you know better than the kid's own parents. And like, sure, you can have a rare instance where maybe there is like provable abuse, but I think that's so rare. I think the average parent is like doing a decent job or the best they can. And just the arrogance of thinking a teacher or the government can raise your kids better than you is like, it's so infuriating. Brave. Yeah, that's all it wants. Like kids, you're just looking for validation from the adults around you and your parent and from your parents, because you're trying to just like survive. And kids are so smart. They go, what do I have to do to survive? What do I have to do to get attention? What do I have to do to like be in the good graces of the adults around me? And it's like, oh, I got to go along with this. Okay. I guess I'm this today. So
it's insanity. And the fact that protecting kids has become a controversial topic.
Right. That's a hot take.
Sums up how much we have declined as a society. Because even a few years back, if someone pushed this stuff, it would have been shut down very, very fast. There is a huge mental health issue going on right now. And the public have been weaponized. And the fact that, I actually think there's more of us than there is of them, but because the media are so corrupt and putting these people on pedestals, it makes it look the other way. And the answer to it is we need to stop being scared. There's enough of us speaking up now, and we shouldn't. Who cares what TRAs think? Have you seen them? Like, do you really care what Jeffrey Marsh thinks of you?
Right.
Do you really care what Jeffrey Marsh thinks of you? Like, this is a morality thing, and it should be everyone's goal to save the kids.
And they've done a very good job at framing it like, well, if you're not on board with trans kids, then you just don't accept gay people, or you just don't accept anyone that's different than like the standard issue, like sexuality, which is so not what it's about. Because I had a conversation with a girl who was definitely on the left. She was like in the sex work industry, and I mentioned actually when you guys did the event at Comic Strip and had those counter protesters, and we were talking about it because it had just happened, and she was like, oh, I thought gays against groomers were just like anti-gay. That was her whole understanding of what you guys do.
I was told
like,
this too.
And I was like, I think that's amazing that is anyone's impression. And I just tried to explain, like, and thank God she was open-minded enough to actually hear a different opinion, because a lot of people are not. And I was like, no, they're actually against like the social contagion aspect of targeting kids. And then she was like, oh wow, really?
Mm-hmm.
But they've done such a good
HBA
has done such a good job at framing what you guys do is like, oh, you're just anti-gay, when like I'm sure like so many of you involved are gay, or like it doesn't even matter. It's not even what it's about.
Wikipedia will tell you that we're all straight white males.
Right.
We're all straight white males. Yeah. Even though our founder is a Jewish lesbian.
Right.
It's insanity. And talking about the anti-gay, I actually had a similar situation. One of my friends in England found out I was in Gays Against Groomers and said, oh, so you don't want kids to be friends of gay people or be gay, and you hate gays. And I was like, where did you get that from?
Where did that come from? How did they get that impression?
It's really
like, are you
crazy.
ignoring the groomer? You're ignoring the groomer part of the title?
Yep. But, you know, it just brings it back to, oh, so you think all gay people are groomers then? Because, you know, when they're saying that groomers an anti-LGBT slur as well, it's like, that's not what it says. Groomers are in all areas. We've got so many groomers out there, but our goal, because they're saying you can't speak if you're not in the community, is to call it out from within. That's why we have to exist right now. But yeah, no, apparently we all hate ourselves and we're not gay. We're all straight.
Right, you can't speak on it unless you're like the specific type of trans that they think you are. So it's like you can't detransition, you can't bail out because then you can't talk about it anymore.
The funniest insult I ever received, like I don't think it will ever be topped, was someone messaged me saying, "You have passing privilege, therefore you can't talk for the trans community now." Back in the day, the whole point of being trans was to pass as the other gender. But now if you do and you're not some non-binary person, oh, you're not allowed to speak anymore. You have to be Dillon Mulvaney or you're not allowed to speak.
These rules. And Dillon Mulvaney came out of like, if you think back to all the famous trans people they tried to make happen, like Caitlyn Jenner. All right, they tried with Caitlyn, but Caitlyn had the wrong politics, so they had to shoo her out, and she's getting kind of old. And then there was Ellen Elliott Page. I feel like Elliott Page deals with a lot of mental health issues.
100%.
Just not the poster boy they wanted. And then they found Dillon, and they're like, "Oh, this is perfect because we can market this. We can sell makeup with this. We can sell a lot with the Dillon Mulvaney image, and that's why so much money has been put behind.
They want Dillon to be famous so bad. They want Dillon to be like the new Kardashian. I mean, a new song out, Blue Christmas. What? No one likes Dillon Mulvaney.
Dillon has a song
oh yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, no.
You've got to watch it. It's a train wreck, absolute train wreck. You have to go see it.
Is this a YouTube video or is it
oh yeah, it's everywhere.
Oh,
I can't avoid it. It keeps coming up on social media. It's everywhere.
How has this eluded me?
They really
Blue
want Dillon to
Christmas.
be the latest big star, you know.
Dillon, what? Oh no! Oh, I've seen this image.
It's like a nightmare version of Lana Del Rey.
They're really just trying to make Dillon happen. Like stop making fetch happen. It's not going to happen. Certainly you guys.
Xmas treat for you right there to watch.
Certainly you guys have seen this. It is. I recognize the screenshots. They're making a lot of noise. Maybe there's somebody famous coming out.
It looks like it.
So blue.
A lot of
Oh yeah, they want you to think Dillon is the most attractive person in the world. They really do. Look at this.
Who is that? Is someone coming out? It's just like, I feel like
they're excited for sure.
they're excited for someone. I would be not surprised if that was like an Alex Jones or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Look at this. This is deal. Like, I think they both look like women. I don't know. I think Dillon looks more like a dude, and this person looks more like a chick to me.
Yeah, the other guy would definitely pass better as a woman.
But that's the thing is, you're not supposed to know.
No.
Oh, look how much fun they're having. They're playing pool.
Oh yeah.
And it's almost looked like Dillon has boobs. Dillon does not. Dillon
like
refuses to get tits after a year of girlhood. It's Dillon has all the money and time to get the tits, but for some reason won't. It's almost like he could just go back to being a man with a facelift at any time.
It does look like that.
It's almost like there's not really very much skin in the game. Because who knows? Like, do you know what Dillon is on? Is like, are they public
apparently
about
Dillon's
it?
on estrogen, but I don't believe it at this point. Like part of me thinks that Dillon's not actually trans at all because, you know, if you've seen the old clip, The Price is Right, he was on The Price is Right.
Yes, because Dillon was like anything to be famous. He was running around. It was just like classic Broadway actor.
The thing I think about Dillon is that Dillon just wanted attention so badly and wasn't getting it just being a flamboyant gay man.
Right.
And now, if you're trans, you know, if you live in California, you get a living allowance now just for being trans. So why not?
That's
of course,
right.
he jumped
I heard
on
about
there.
that. There's trans reparations going on.
Of course, Dillon would jump on that. It's works. That's the worst thing. That they're trying to get him to advertise all of these products, even though nobody will buy them if Dillon advertises them. But they still push and push and push. They want Dillon Mulvaney to be the new Kim Kardashian. It's getting obvious at this point.
Wow, it's not. I would say you would need to get implants because. Well, yeah. Let's see if Dillon starts an underwear line. called like ick or something. But yeah, they really are trying so hard. And I think people that are fans of or follow Dillon just want to like watch the car crash. They're not actually. I mean, Dillon did an event recently. Wait, was it UPenn or Penn State? And it was like
no one came.
It was so poorly attended. I was like, they're gonna take away some of these chairs. This is a bad look. So like genuine believers and supporters of Dillon, I feel like very, very few.
Oh yeah.
Most people are just like, yikes! Look, and it's like a circus spectacle. It's very sad. But again, like Dillon wanted to be famous by any means necessary.
Anything, no matter what.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the cost was. Dillon just wanted the fame, and it shows. It shows.
Yeah, and it's like talking about like permanent decisions. It's like how could he go back to being a dude at this point? Like it's almost like a lifelong Hollywood sentence. It's like you're now caged.
Yeah, that's it.
Holy crap. But like Matt, I think you're such an important voice, and you're very like literally actually brave for speaking out, and you're able to reach a lot because of what you've been through. You're able to reach a lot of people that like a lot of people couldn't, because there's just so many people that you don't understand, or you don't know how hard it is, or you don't know how, like you're like, I do know how hard it must take actual bravery to come and be like, I got a about face on this because it's not working. So it's just I really appreciate you. Where can people follow you? I know there's the main Gays Against Groomers account on Twitter.
I am on Instagram as It's Matt Ray. X, I'm the same, and then TikTok, I'm still Matt Ray because they like to delete me every opportunity they get. They don't want any trans people going against the narrative of everything else.
It's bad for business.
But I've used it against them. It's really funny because they push all this woke garbage. Every time they do try and ban me now, I respond using their own games against them. I'm trans. How dare you silence me? And they give me my account back now. So you've got to pay them at their own game. You gotta get them.
I'm gonna use that if I ever get banned. Look, I'm trans. You might not be able to tell, but there is a man inside me. yeah. Thank you so much, Matt.
It's so lovely to meet you.
Incredible. I'm such a fan.
Thank you so much.
Look at your shoes. My God.
Oh, you like them?
Someone has style.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Oh, yes. It's all working. It's all working. It's all happening.
You get a picky?
Yes. Let's get a pick.
Quick picky.
Let's get a quick pick. You guys won't mind, live stream viewers, while we get a picture.
Thank you for giving me a platform.
Not of course. Like literally, anytime if you even want to do like a.
Let's go in front of your backdrop.
Yeah, let's do it in front of my backdrop.
All right, you take this for me.
Okay.
Yeah, do that. That's good.
Okay. My hand's shaking. Thank you, Matt. Nice to meet you. I'll be sure to follow you.
Thanks so much, Chrissie.
Thank you. Good to see you again. I'll see you around. Hello, Nicholas Fiorillo. It's Italian, isn't it? I married into an Italian family, so I would be chastised if I didn't get the pronunciation down. What's happening in Massachusetts? Oh yes, I've had Turtle Boy on a couple times. He's is it similar to what Turtle Boy has talked about? It's all the same. Hold on, we got Super Chef from Trade Miller. I've been watching since the Motorist guy. Super compelling content. Seems like Chrissie is in a very interesting place. Where is Ryan? Yes, we're at the Phoenix Convention Center at Turning Point USA, day 3. Ryan Kinel is wandering around. I'm not sure where. Oh, there he is. He's over there. Chad is asking for you. They do want you, and I want you, so I can pee. Okay, talk to the people so I can pee.
Need a break?
I do. I need to pee really bad. Really bad. Hold on. I'll be right back.
All right, what's up, chat? I literally just ran to make a video. Jonathan Majors got found guilty of assault, so I had to go make a video about that real quick. I can kind of hear myself, just a touch. I can hear myself a little bit, so that's good. I just literally got back. I have no idea what's going on. What's up, man? How you doing?
You're doing like true crime podcasts?
No, I just cover entertainment industry. So What are you doing? Oh my gosh. It's all right. We got a bunch of people standing here though. What's going on, man? What's your name?
How you doing? I'm Anthony. I was supposed to be interviewing
with Chrissie?
Yeah, with Chrissie Mayr next, but I'm not sure if she's got time.
She's going to use the bathroom. Can you just sit down and talk to me real quick?
Am I allowed? Does this count?
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Oh, what's
right,
up,
get all
everybody?
Squared away here. What's up, everybody? Everybody.
Guess who's black?
Black again. There we go. What's your name?
Just kidding. I'm Anthony. Nice to meet you.
Anthony. All right. And what do you do?
I am a contributor here for Turning Point USA and an Olympian that got canceled and lost all of my sponsors.
Why'd you get canceled?
Oh, it's simple. I'm a black person, and I think Black Lives Matter is the dumbest organization to ever exist. And
Well,
I
there
said
you go.
so. And here we are.
That's a no-no. You know, Jonathan Isaac, NBA player, Orlando Magic.
Yeah, that's my homeboy.
Yeah, exactly. He has a similar
I come up to
story.
his hip bone.
Dude, he's a monster.
It's kind
he
of
looks like
emasculating.
he looks like a different, like he comes from another planet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like arms and legs, all along. Like this dude, he's literally born to play in the NBA. But Jonathan Isaac is a dude who just decided not to kneel during the national anthem.
Or
right?
with a Black Lives Matter t-shirt.
Or wear the Black Lives Matter t-shirt. They did the same thing. So when did all this happen to you? What sport did you compete in? All of that good stuff.
I did bobsledding and skeleton. So I did it for Team USA for 3 years. Then I switched to the Jamaican team and then competed in South Korea in 2018. It was around that time that everything was getting crazy with all the anti-Semitism, the race talk of everything when Donald Trump was in office. Then fast forward to 2020, when it was at the height of everything, riots, looting, the burning of buildings and communities and everything and such like that, that I started being like, you know, this doesn't make sense. Everyone keeps saying, you know, like all lives can't matter until Black lives do. But I'm just like, Black lives won't matter to anybody else till they matter to us first.
Right.
So it's just like you make a cause for people that make everything in their community 10 times worse for themselves and then want to make that issue that they cause everybody else's problem. So me looking like myself, you know, I got called everything. It's just like, oh, you're whitewashed. I was like, I come from a mixed family. I think there are worse things to be called. But in that time, you know, everyone just came at me for reasons that, you know, that didn't make sense to them. They couldn't explain. But in the end, I go off of results. And if you are dumb enough to burn down your own neighborhood and then have people that swear up and down they're fighting for you tell you to go back and live there.
Yeah.
I was like, you're dumber than a buck of rocks. That's all I got to say.
It's these people, right, that are encouraging this to happen, encouraging riots, looting, burning down all this stuff that are destroying their own neighborhoods. And then what happens? The outside neighborhoods, Target closes down, grocery store moves away. All of a sudden, you got these families who are trying to live there that have to drive 25 minutes out of their neighborhood because there's no open grocery stores in a place.
Well, not just
You know?
that, but when you look at the deeper roots that were caused and the issues that were causing this, when you sow seeds of fear, distrust, and envy in a bunch of people, in a race of people, it's no wonder why it's so hard to convince people that they're not victims, because they found out that if I blame it on my skin color, if I blame it on my gender, I can find out how to get money. I can find out how to get ahead. I can find out how to get into this institution, and I don't even have to prove myself or work for anything, because all I have to do at the end of the day is just scream and complain loud enough. But I tell everyone the danger in that is that victimization has to wait in line. Because I was like, if everyone's playing victim and everyone's wanting to benefit off of it, I was like, nobody's going to give all the resources to everyone at the same time. Then it becomes, well, who's the most marginalized? Who's had to pay the most? Who's paid the first price? Who's been going through the biggest criticism?
Who's highest up that oppression ladder?
Exactly.
It's like
And right
trans, gay, black, like you mix all these things together, you throw it out.
And remember, a couple of years ago, everything was anti-Semitic. Everyone was fighting for the Jewish people everywhere. Now, all of a sudden, everyone's pro-Palestine. And the same people who were calling everyone anti-Semitic are now calling for the destruction of the Jewish race altogether.
From the river to the sea, right? The same people are saying that right there. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. But so let's talk a little bit about your Olympic stuff. So for me, listen, growing up, one of my favorite movies in the 90s was Cool Runnings, right? So as somebody who did, sled for United States and Jamaica, like how much, one, you've heard this a million times, I'm sure, but what is it like, kind of like that legacy, being able to represent your country here in America and then going and doing the same thing for Jamaica?
Well, there's a sense of pride that comes with it, but there's also a bigger responsibility, because I was always told, and what I tell everybody else is, as a conservative or as an Olympian, as an American, as a believer, as a Christian, as I am myself, I said, you are a small window view into a lifestyle that people are going to criticize far more people based off of how you act. So when you go to the Olympics, it's no longer the Anthony show. I have Jamaica on my back, and how I handle myself is how people are going to perceive all Jamaicans in that one instance.
Yeah.
The same thing as a conservative. If you call yourself a conservative and don't do the things that conservatives do, then you ruin the image for anyone that now comes in saying they're conservatives because of that one experience. Everyone right now is so fixated on being viral on social media, and I could care less about social media because all conservatives condemn it, saying that it's the pit and the cause of a lot of issues, but yet that's the one place where all of us get our validation from if we don't get the amount of likes, the amount of shares, or everything else for the message. I'm like, truth has always been harder to get to because it's buried under layers and layers of lies, distrust, envy, fear, and mess that people have built on top of it, running away from what they know to be true, trying to make causes and what they want to be true to now support something that has no foundation, that has never supported anybody from the time it's been an idea to the time it's been pointed out. And the only thing that can validate anyone's things that they want to do is time, and you've got to wait that out, which is why when these conservatives say socialism sucks, is because over time, we have never seen it work implemented anywhere.
Well, it just hasn't been done the right. No, it's been tried a million different times.
It's been tried everywhere, and it's never worked. You can't do it. So when it comes to all of these other things, you can try to be famous on the internet. You can try to be famous here and there. But if you're going to be people that say the media is the biggest purveyor of misinformation and propaganda, then you can't make that your end all be all of your worth and existence as a creator or as someone that gets your information. Everyone who has created something viral will always find themselves in a place where they have to go more extreme or where they have to push the envelope even further to stay relevant. But nobody in their lifetime will ever forget the time that they were ever in an instance with somebody where they felt respect and where they were treated with kindness. That you can remember from the time you were 6 when someone shared a fruit snack with you to the time you're in your 90s when someone said a kind word to you when you needed it. We're making ourselves more distant from the human connection, which is the one that we need more than ever right now. And what 2020 did, when all those lockdowns, mask mandates, and everything of social distancing came out, it severed an even bigger wedge from people that already are skeevish about being around people to now making it seem like you can't even trust everyone. And when you separate people and put them isolated by themselves, that's how you pick them off.
There you go. Yeah, that's 100% correct. And shout out, by the way, shout out to all the people who are watching us digitally right here, the hundreds of people live. But you mentioned something earlier that I wanted to hit back on. You talked about coming from a mixed family and all the different things you get called. Isn't it interesting how the left, right? If you're from a mixed background, you say the right thing, they'll fully embrace you. You're part of the team. You're part of our side. You say the wrong thing, they will say the most vile stuff about you humanly imaginable.
Well, let's get it right. You say the wrong thing, they'll embrace you. You
Yes,
say the right thing, then they'll resist you. But that's not by mistake. That's by design, because doing what's right has never been popular. It's never been accepted. It's never been something that's easy, and it's always been something that costs everybody, if not everything, a lot to where they want to quit altogether. But the reward of people who stand the trials of all of that is far greater than the ones that give up in the end, because the people who give up are always the ones wishing they would have stuck it out for the reward that everybody else is benefiting from. And when they see that, then they want the shortcut in doing that. So I tell everybody, it's just like, look, the long way will make you sweat, but shortcuts always make you bleed. You pick which one.
Yeah. There you go, man. Let's see if we got any. I think I saw a couple questions from the chat. How does a person get into bobsledding? How did that happen?
It was the only Olympic sport that took trials. I actually wanted to be a track and field athlete, and I tore my knee during the year of the 2012 Olympic trials. So after getting everything finished and all that stuff, I went on the USA team website and saw that bobsled and skeleton was the only Olympic sport that took tryouts, and that's literally how I got in there. I was like, well, if I'm going to be an Olympian in something, I was like, it might as well be this. So that's how that got started. And then after being with Team USA for a few years, I realized I wasn't going to make it to the Olympics as quick as I could have in my athletic prime. So through dual citizenship, I switched and then joined the Jamaican team.
There you go. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, we finally have the host back, Chrissie Mayr.
You're a host too.
Well, now I am. I just rolled in here. But this has been fantastic, man. What are your plans? What are you doing right now with tpusa? What are your goals, like working with them and everything right now?
Well, I'm a contributor for Turning Point USA. I was doing a lot of grassroots activism with campuses when I was just an ambassador. So when they saw all the work that I was doing, they invited me to join staff full time. And then I came up with a show concept to go and highlight students on the campuses that they're at, because you have a lot of people that want shows to create that they have a hard time getting an audience for. But in this case, I wanted to create something that actually included the audience that I was placating to. Because when people see their peers It makes them want to get involved. It makes them want to be a part of it. But it also encourages them to know that people their age are going through the same issues and that they're not alone. Because everybody here who has made a stand publicly feels like they're the only one going through it because each individual struggle feels like it's only unique to them. But when you see the struggles of everybody else who's lost friends, who can't sit at family dinners anymore because you've got so many polarizing opinions that you can't even open your mouth, and it's better for you to sit in silence than spend the entire weekend arguing. You know, everyone has had trouble in school, you know, like they've had trouble at work. All of these different issues that actually make us more connected than ever. And so what we started doing now is highlighting the students, because the students are the future, because they're the ones that are going to be carrying the torch and the mantle when it's passed to them.
Yeah, that is the great part about this event, is the fact that you see people, right? You've got your boomers, you got your Gen Zers, you got everybody here, but there is a lot of hope for the future to see so many people with common values, shared values, who have been through all that stuff, who now can come here and not have to worry about being canceled for liking the wrong thing or whatever. It's just a group of people that have common goals in mind. So it's fantastic what tpusa is doing. It's been great being here.
Well, the whole purpose of this is to reignite people. It's been a hard year. Like, we can all admit that. You know, like there are just some days where everyone feels like you're not doing anything. The work that you've done has no outcome, no profit. You know, like you're not even making an impact. You know, but you keep doing it because what we're missing a lot of these days is consistency. A lot of people are on a good trajectory, and because it's not going as fast as other people, they think that they're not important. If it's not getting the return as some other people might, they're thinking it's not worth it. You know, but every little piece counts, because if we're going to be a group that says we need every single person, then we need every single person to know and understand that where you find yourself in your job, your career, your family, or life right now is a pivotal place to where we're all going to go together to either be the country that is talked about or the country that we want to become.
Hell yeah, man. I'm loving everything you're saying. I run a sports channel, actually. We talk about a lot of like woke stuff invading sports, a lot about these athletes who want to disrespect the flag. I'd love to have you on my channel at some point in time, dude.
Absolutely. But right now I'm promoting the Chrissie Mayr podcast. Right. And, you know, she's an amazing, I'm pretty sure she's fiery. Every redhead I've known is fiery.
She is. Mentally ill. She's especially.
I'm half Hispanic, so fiery means just like.
As fiery as you can be without being Dominican. Yeah.
Why don't you come in here and talk to Anthony?
Anthony,
nice
what
talking
did I miss?
Oh, everything. We talked about the world. We solved the world's problems.
You're an Olympian. Either
Yeah.
that, this is like, what is it called? Like the rings that are all like.
An Audi.
No, what is it called when you have like a bunch of like rings? I don't know. People wear them to punch people. What's it called?
Oh, yeah. Brass knuckles.
Yeah, I thought those are brass knuckles for a second. I'm like, no, those look like the Olympic rings.
I'd punch people like this.
Yeah.
It's for a baby. Brass knuckles for a baby.
What were you? Did you already go over this? What were you in the Olympics for?
Yeah, I said we went over that.
You went over it. Oh, good. Okay.
We got
then I'm just here to wrap things up, I guess.
It's the Chrissie Mayr podcast.
Hey. I saw a couple dogs today. Both of them I could not pet because they're wearing service vests. So I'm gonna keep looking.
I was like, you're able to pet them if you know the owner.
I was like, if you were to talk to the dog, if the dog could talk, I think the dog would be fine with you petting them. I think it's just the owner.
Man, those dogs are like so well trained. It's
Yeah.
It's actually kind of scary.
I saw somebody with a Great Dane service dog. I'm like, that's like
Yeah,
a
I saw
horse,
that guy
basically.
too. I'm just like, I bet you it's an emotional support animal.
Of course, yeah, and it's pretty easy to get. You just gotta do some paperwork, and then you can bring them on the plane with you.
Or you go on Amazon, and for the cheap price of $39.99, you can get yourself any animal vest and then just slap any badge or patch on it that you want.
Animal vest. I would like to wear one that says like do not pet. Just generally.
On yourself? Or-
Yeah.
Oh, you got people petting you?
Just so people know. Yeah, some people are trying to pet me on my way to the bathroom. They're like, let's do an interview. I'm like, you want to do it in the bathroom?
The interview.
Way to give the cool interview to Ryan. It's okay. He's worth it. At least we have cool interviews. Thank you, Russell. Matthew Hammond, how does a person get into bobsledding? Is that what you went into the Olympics for?
I did, yeah. Bobsledding and skeleton.
Your real life cool runnings.
Yeah.
I only hear that 1,000 times a day.
Well, this is the thing that I say in response to that. You remember how the movie was about 4 dudes who had never seen ice, never been into bobsled, and they crashed?
And they were Jamaican, I
The
think.
current team is still exactly like that.
Oh, no.
They
It's
crash
bad for
all
business.
the time. I was a Jamaican bobsledder for a total of about 3 weeks.
Are you from Jamaica?
I'm born and raised here, but I have dual citizenship from my father. He was
Oh,
born and raised in
cool.
Jamaica. Yes.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say you don't seem Jamaican, but
No,
that
I mean, like,
sounds
if I wanted
bad.
to be Jamaican, I could, but I mean, like, Jamaicans have kind of like a sullied reputation because, and I'm
Why?
just like, I'm me.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're the wild, uncontrollable party people. So,
I went to Jamaica once for a spring break in college.
what city? Don't say Negril. Was it
It might
Negril?
have been.
Negril, Montego Bay, Ocho Rio, because
Yeah,
those
I
are the
think it was
only.
Negril.
Those are the. Ooh.
And I remember we weren't even that nice of a hotel because like our means, college students, but like
But you were there.
we took a cab to like a place to go dance, and everyone was like, "You really shouldn't leave the hotel." And we're like, "What? What's gonna happen?" And then it's just like it was just an eerie feeling. But whatever. We were like young and stupid, like before your sense of self and your gut instincts kick in. It was fun. Someone just handed us joints. We just didn't ask what was in them.
Yeah.
Like,
All they do.
yeah.
You go to the market, they take you all the way in the back and just like, hey man, you smoke weed?
There you
No.
go. He's got the accent in there somewhere.
Yeah, see, I sound a little choppy because I started this conference sounding like myself, but normally towards the end I start sounding more like Morgan Freeman.
Ooh, that's
You
not
know,
bad.
I'm getting into my older, more mature, masculine tone.
I like
just because
that.
my voice is dying. It's
People
literally
love
dying.
Morgan Freeman. All right, so you basically covered all the important stuff with Brian. Good. I will listen back. Did you tell people where they can find you and what's
I did
coming
not.
up?
Okay, so we have season 2 of my show, Campus Crashers, filming and airing in April of next year. We are going to, I almost said North Carolina. I said New Carolina. That ain't a state. We're going to New Mexico, Colorado, and several colleges all over the beautiful state. Hopefully still to be the beautiful state of Texas.
Awesome. Is that where you're currently based?
No, I'm based in Arizona. So
Okay.
I'm a contributor. So I live here.
You're
in the,
local.
I love it here at this time
I
of
love
year.
this jacket. Like you're
Thank
very
you
well,
very much.
very well put together.
I appreciate that.
For a
Yes.
straight.
So I didn't realize when I first moved here that Black people could tan.
Wow.
They can burn too.
I mean, you can't see it, but I'm actually getting tan right now.
Right. Yes, but this is actually a tanning light. It's not a stage light. Or
I grew up in
anything
New Jersey, so I was
Oh,
used to the
cool.
ocean, humidity that
Yeah,
kept
I'm
your
from New
skin
York.
moist and everything else like that. But then when I moved here, I think the thing that I spent the most money on wasn't even lotion, it was chapstick.
It is dry AF here. Like
So everyone's like, what's the difference? I'm like, okay, put your hand above a toaster and hold it there for about an hour. That draws all the moisture
so
out of you.
dry here. I'm so glad I bought multiple chapsticks, and I didn't bring any yesterday. And Brian offered me his, and I was like, I don't know if we're at that point in our relationship yet.
And I did the impossible for the first time in my adult life. I think it was the month of May of this year. I went from May 1st to June 6th, and I finished one stick.
Ooh.
Normally, you got to buy like 7 because you just misplace
You
them and
never-
you lose them. I had one with me, and I finally ran out, and I was like,
Get to the bottom and
now I actually have it. I actually have it saved. It's like a monumentous like a life achievement. It's been like one of the things that you need to like do before you like die in your life is like go
Finish
through
a
one
chapstick.
thing, finish one full
Find what's at the bottom. Are you eating?
Speaking about the bottom, this nerd rope is at the bottom of my purse. I couldn't have been happier to find it.
I was about to say I was like nerd gummies and nerd ropes. I was like, that's my favorite candy now.
This is the best. Have you ever had one of these?
I have had one of those. You can
Okay.
read, it's my favorite.
It's everything you love about nerds, but stuck to a gummy.
Oh, but don't forget, campuscrashers.com is where you can find season 1. Pretty simple, right? www.campuscrashers.com. And you can follow me on my Instagram, which is AWatsonJam, Jam, or on my Twitter at AWatsonOLY. What's up, y'all? Howdy.
You got fans.
Yeah, I'm exhausted, but I'm good. We're here for one more day. One more day. Well, Smart, it's been an honor and a
so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Awesome.
You're the best. Have fun. Pulling in all the big guests.
Thanks, man.
I'm so hungry. I'm gonna pass out. I'm so happy I found this nerd rope. Oh, that's his entourage. Ooh, he had these 2 very cute girls sitting here.
Yeah, I
Because
know.
now we have a waiting room. Look at this. We now have a Arcade Outpost Chrissie Mayr podcast waiting room. And I was like, you know what? I deserve 2 more chairs.
I ran back. I went back to the hotel to record a video about Jonathan Majors getting found guilty.
Wow, you're on top of it because it's very topical right now.
Yeah, but then like a little bit after I got back here, I think it was while I was on the show, Marvel fired him.
Oh no, from what? Just in general?
Well, yeah, from his role as Kang.
There's gonna be another.
He was Kang.
He literally was Kang.
He was Kang.
Well, what was due to come out next for him?
There's an entire movie called The Kang Dynasty.
Oh no!
Where it's like about all the different versions of him and shit. So yeah. Sorry, Jonathan.
Ari texted us. She's front row at the Tucker Charlie interview.
The Chucker Tarley.
Chucker Tarley.
Chucker Tarley. Chucker Tarlson.
My brain's melted. Someone really tried to do an interview with me as I was trying to get into the bathroom. I was like,
who was it?
I don't know. I don't know who. Was it?
Did you give it to him?
No, I said, do you want to do it in the bathroom? Because I'm going to pee myself. Oh, shit. We were invited to an after party.
Ooh. Ooh.
Look at this graphic.
I know, dude.
That's really funny. Sorry, we can't tell you guys. How fun. Wow, okay. I thought we were going to go this whole weekend not be invited to anything. Well, you got invited to something. You were at a cool party last night.
I was. Yeah, I was at a party last night.
What was it like? Hello.
Yeah, I was at a party last night. It was cool. It was neat. Some stuff went down a little bit after.
I don't know if you can talk about it.
Part, but I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was good. We've been all over. It's been quite a week. It's probably actually a good thing that Chrissy can't drink because
I would be hammered, but I'd be hammered right now.
Yeah.
To deal with the stress of just everything. But my equipment not working.
And you would have been super late to things, like even later than you are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It would have been rough. But
yeah.
What's up, man?
I have loose nerds. Looking for trouble.
Well, we're live right now on the Chrissie Mayr channel. Oh, it's all good, man. It's all good. I know you questioned because we're like very casually just chatting.
Zer? Are you a Gen Zer?
How old are you?
Yeah, so you are. Or maybe you're Alpha.
I don't know.
I don't like to represent my own people. I'm my own person.
Yeah, I don't know. They put us in generations for some reason. They like to do that. Have you ever read a nerd rope? Have you ever read a nerd rope?
Oh, yeah.
No, they're not good. But it was what was in my purse. So I do one-on-one interviews with sometimes like comedians, politicians, adult film stars, like really whoever's interesting or has an interesting life story or someone who's been canceled or censored in some way. Yes, which is most people. And then I do a show on Sunday nights called TimCast, where it's an all-female panel, and we're talking about like pop culture stuff. And then I do a show with Ryan here on Fridays called Friday Night Tights on Nerdrotics YouTube channel, where we talk about like pop culture stuff, film, TV, how the woke folks have ruined our beloved franchises, etc. And then Ryan has his own channel on YouTube called RK Outpost. Yeah, right. We're renaming it Skankcast. Thank you, Courtney.
Sorry, thank you, Courtney, for the reminder. We're gonna get it. We're gonna put in the copyright for that. I think the trademark. We got to do it.
Yeah. Oh, I have chips in my bag.
Why did you bring about? I'm buying. I guess it's expensive. I'm not. Business expense, whatever.
I don't know. I might buy real food, but I bought this this moon cheese from Starbucks this morning. It's not entirely unhealthy. It's just basically like cheese that they dye. Oh, bye. He didn't want to listen to me talk about moon cheese.
Yeah. He's like, I'm bored of this. I'm done.
Wow. I didn't like his attitude.
Why? Like, it's not like you were really talking to him or anything.
I asked him if he likes nerd ropes.
You literally just pop down there, got your thing, open it up, and we're talking about food.
I'm
He's
starving.
Like, starving like Marvin girl.
What do I owe? He wouldn't even,
I got 16 bars of fire.
No, I don't think I said, are you a Gen Z? I don't know. I did. I'm like, bitch, everyone knows what fucking generation they're part of.
Bitch, I said what I said.
He was trying to be too cool for school. I'm not about that.
But yeah, I hope you don't mind. I just started the interview.
No, it was great. Who was that guy?
Anthony Watson.
Anthony Watson. Now I remember.
Bobsledder.
He was an actual bobsledder?
Yeah. Yeah, I also brought up Cool Runnings.
I'm
You're lucky I didn't sing. Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
Yeah.
Get on up.
It's about that
It's
time.
bobsled time. Cool running.
Cool running. I'm stress eating. Maybe I'm.
We have the one
actually
Doris
eating.
and the one Junior.
I had a
Lou
rep.
Brenner and the Mansanka.
But you know the whole song.
Yeah. The fastest of the Jamaican sprinters. Go to Olympics. Yeah. I know a lot of it. I need to watch that movie again.
Yeah. Facts about Moon Cheese. I'll tell you. It's cheddar cheese. I'm not sponsored by Moon Cheese. They won't get back to me. It's pasteurized milk, salt, cheese cultures, annatto, which is a vegetable color, and enzymes. It's really just cheddar cheese. Dehydrated. This is decent protein. 20 grams for the whole bag. Not bad. This is better than just eating. If I were just sitting here eating candy, you guys criticize me for that.
I forgot we were live for a second. I'm just gonna start talking something.
I'm trying to email Gad Sad. I want to interview him. Am I gonna eat the whole bag? I don't know. You just stop me. Things have calmed down a little bit. Let's see what's going on stage right now.
So you all go strongly disagree. Okay. We got to figure something.
Uh-oh. It's not. Okay, it's not working anymore. Maybe they're not live right now.
I don't hear too much. I think I heard a cheer, so somebody probably like walked off.
Yeah.
They're probably done.
Who do you think that was?
Carrie Lake.
Oh, wow.
I'm just guessing.
Oh, Ben Carson is on right now.
You sent me something. Hold on. What did you send?
Yeah, I sent you a screenshot of the agenda.
Bro, there's a big agenda today.
Yeah, there's a lot happening today. Ooh, what is Ben Carson?
Some very outstanding people from HUD and myself, we got together. We said, let's formulate a think tank, which was later dubbed a do tank, to bring us back to those cornerstone principles that made us great. It's not a coincidence that we went from a bunch of ragtag militiamen to the pinnacle of the world. It was because of cornerstone number one, our faith, our Judeo-Christian values, which taught us to love your neighbor, not to hate your neighbor, not to cancel your neighbor if they have a different yard sign. You know, what a difference that made for us as a nation. The cornerstone of liberty. So important, our freedoms, our freedom of speech, our freedom to protect ourselves, our freedom of association. All of these freedoms are things that people came to this country in search of. We cannot let those go by any stretch of the imagination. And that's why I speak out so vehemently against political correctness and wokeness and all this total crap. You know, we can talk about what we want to. People fought and died so that we could talk about what we want to, and we could believe what we wanted to believe in. And then the cornerstone of community. You know, we had people who came here from all over the world, different places. We had communities of 100 families, nobody else around for 50 miles. Not only did they survive, but they thrived. Why? Because they understood the concept of the common good. Sometimes they could barely even speak to each other with different languages, but they understood.
Charlie Kirk is so tall.
Together. And that was the
Look at
thing
that.
that helped us to
tall.
He's a tall drink of water.
So powerful so quickly as
He's
a
a
nation.
tall man.
And then the concept, the cornerstone
Look
of
at that.
life, from the womb to the
All right,
tomb.
cool. Let me
We
look
have
at my
to honor
schedule
life
and see what else is
because
on
it
for
is the most
today.
precious thing that God gave us. And
Wow. Okay, it is 3
there
o'clock
was a
Arizona time.
when we cared.
Wow, they're actually on
about
time.
everybody's
Okay,
life
Rob Schneider is
and the
next.
direction of those lives. And we must
Then
get
Brandon
back to that
Tatum,
place
Tulsi
again.
Gabbard, Jonathan
Let's
Isaac,
get away
Tucker,
from
then Candace, then
hatred
Tim Pool
and
IRL.
divisiveness, because
I think
the
that
fact of the
I think
matter
that
is, we, the
said
American
Tim Pool's gonna be like a
people,
live Tim Pool, like
Yeah.
with him and
That's
obviously
cool.
Luke and Tucker.
That's at
we
6.
are not enemies.
Um,
We
At
have to remember
Sat.
that,
At
because
6
people are trying to
o'clock.
divide us
8
on the
Eastern.
basis of race,
Yes.
age, income.
Do I want to see Rob Schneider? I think I do.
This is a weird time zone.
It is weird, and you know they don't deal with daylight savings out here.
Yeah, so sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't Pacific, right?
It's mountain time. It's mountain time.
Well, no, but I think depending on if it's daylight savings or not, it's either they're either on mountain or on Pacific.
Yeah.
Half the year, I think. I don't know. Arizonites, you can tell me.
Yeah. Wow, they're actually yeah, they were very late. Things go late. This is a lot to manage. Okay, cool. We had a lot of cool interviews. We had Bobsledder. We had Matt Ray from Gays Against Groomers. We had that guy Jay, who was talking to us about motorists. And
yes.
then we had that guy that's running for that thing in California, Congress,
yes.
I think. And if it weren't for his mom, I wouldn't have talked to him. The mom complimented me out the gate, which is like, I was like, yes, I'm listening. I love a mom. We had some good little guests drop by.
We need better equipment.
I do need better equipment. Yeah, that's the takeaway.
I do too. Next year when we're here, we're gonna do it like it's gonna be badass.
Yeah, it's gonna be badass.
We're gonna get a bigger booth.
I would get a booth again, or even a bigger booth. Yeah, you'll get a thing. I'll get a better sign.
I'll get a sign. Yeah.
I'll be back. I'm gonna print out more business cards, but I do have some. And
my business cards have been popular.
Yeah.
Some dumb hoe spilled her water on it.
Ugh,
that sucks.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I think I do want to hear Rob Schneider speak, and he's next. And then I'm gonna email Gad Sad to see if I could snag him for an interview. Because I did get his handler's email.
Handler? Ooh.
Yeah.
Is Chelsea handler?
No. And then it's Tulsi.
So stupid.
Brandon Tatum. Tucker is at 4:41.
Didn't Brandon already go on? He went on at noon, didn't he?
Noon was Jonathan Isaac.
What?
Yeah, look at the Today schedule. Jonathan Isaac is on again. He's on. That's who's on twice. Brandon Tatum's on at 3:30. Tucker should come say hi to me, but he probably doesn't know I exist. So there's that.
He's had Carolyn on his show before. I think right?
Yeah.
When she got fired, I'm pretty sure that's happened.
That's awesome. Yeah, and he's had Ari on. So that's good. As long as he's having some of my friends on.
Bro, I saw Rob Schneider at Terror on the Prairie premiere.
Oh, cool.
And Jay, drunk 3PO Jay, like got stopped by security when we were going through the metal detectors, and like he was like holding up the line, so Rob Schneider just like walked around and just didn't care, just walks around it and just starts roasting Jay because Jay's like sitting there like winding him, and he's having to pull out empty his pockets, and he grabbed like every type of candy imaginable.
Oh my God.
Now he says he was holding it for people or whatever, but he pulled out because we gave away free candy or whatever. He had like every different. He's like M&M's, Hershey's, Reese's, Snickers. He's like pulling them all out of his pockets.
Was this right around Halloween time?
Roasts him. No, it was just at the theater.
No, okay. Oh, right. He just had a lot of candy. That makes sense. All right, cool. I'm gonna wind this down.
All right.
And I might fire this back up again, guys. You don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen. I may do a little bit of like streaming in the speaking room. Am I allowed to do that? I have a press pass, for Christ's sake.
Maybe.
Yeah. And I'll try to get some more interviews. This is a good first little burst of TPUSA Day 3. We will stay tuned. The quest for Roseanne continues. People want me to go eat real food. That's an idea. All right, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.